Then you have Fanforstic, which is genuinely a fucking terrible movie and horrible and literally the worst thing I've ever seen. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen.
Well, when
Snakes
you put
on
it
a
like
Plane
that,
was
it really
worse.
sounds like you're going to go with
It'd
Watchmen
probably
here.
be Watchmen, but I'm not going to lie. It's not like it. I would actually say it's probably closer than you would think.
Yeah, in fact, I would want to put Fanforstic forward. The time went by a lot faster watching Fanforstic. I thought it was much less of a waste of my fucking time. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think.
I don't know, man. I don't think the Watchmen thing was for me. And what's weird is that, I talked about this on the podcast, but when I watched it for the first time, I was a really big fan, but I just was not on. I think this was my third viewing of the movie, and I just really was not a big fan of it. And I hated Fanforstic.
Yeah, Fanforstic was a terrible movie. I can't give it to Fanforstic just out of principle. It was such a bad movie, and they did such a bad job.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, if this was against, I don't know, Snakes on a Plane, I'd give it to Fanforstic.
Wow.
Snakes on a Plane was genuinely a horrible movie.
But Snakes on a Plane has Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And it was an original idea.
It still doesn't make it. Like, Fanforstic was bad, but Snakes on a Plane was terrible.
Look, how many superhero movies have you seen? But how many? I mean, plenty, right? But you haven't seen that many movies about snakes on a plane.
Yeah.
You've probably seen one of them.
I've seen one movie about snakes on a plane. Do you want to know why I've seen one movie about snakes on a plane?
Why?
It's not that good of an idea.
But why do they make all these damn snake on a blank, fill in the blank spoof
Snake
films?
on a train, snake on a plane, snake in a car. There's only one person in that film.
That's because it was a really good idea.
It wasn't, though. That's the thing. That's why there's not any other idea, like people making these movies.
So maybe we should have actually done the matchup between Fanforstic and Snakes on a Plane.
We should have. That could have been more interesting. This isn't a very interesting. This is just shit.
If the bracket allows, that could happen further on down the line.
It's not going to, though. Snakes on a Plane is not going to win.
Against Star Wars 2?
Yeah, Star Wars 2 is literally easily one of the best films on here.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I love Star Wars 2. Star Wars 2 is so much... Star Wars 1 is really good, but I like Star Wars 2 the most. Star Wars 2 is the best film.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I agree Watchmen should go forward. I didn't actually like Fanforstic. I just wanted to play the devil's advocate for a minute because I think it would just be a boring episode if we just agreed on everything.
Yeah, that's the only issue is, I feel like we're actually really kind of similar on a lot of these. I don't know how much we're going to be debating. But
look, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't even want to put Watchmen forward. I would really rather put Fanforstic forward because I know that it's going to get a brutal fucking pounding from Deadpool and the Wolverine.
That's true. It's definitely going to lose.